Just want to say shalom and wholeness to everyone that decided to join us today. I had called Nasik earlier and just made the statement of how exciting the times are that we are living in. Every day, there is something new. There is a new revelation. There is new information that is provided to us in very, what would be termed miraculous ways. And today is no different. Nasig has been talking to us about something that I hope everybody understands to be critical uh, in this particular stage in our journey. Uh, Talking about this, the problem of cognitive dissonance and putting that on view before the family for uh, not just to listen, but to really hear and consider. And
Eitai.
I really I have underlined in my notes two important um, directives that Nasik has given us in the form of instructions. And he had mentioned it several times, and I want to uh, bring these two aspects up: retrospect and introspect. All right,
Right.
two critically important things. I want to say that, look, we are getting everything that we need to complete this journey. And I'm saying inclusive of me, not just Nasik, the fact that you and I are teaching,
Right. Right.
because I get from you what everyone else should be getting. The things that I need to uh, consider, hear, consider, and expand upon what it is that I know.
Right. Right. Right.
And everyone is playing a particular role in this, even the people that are not on this particular call every day, that they are providing just uh, from unknown sources. And a lot of times we don't know why we're getting this stuff, but the important thing is that we're getting it, and we're getting it in a timely fashion. Akamari,
Absolutely.
Akamari sent out this particular book, uh, the PDF to this book, 103 Amazing Facts About the Black Indian of the Western Hemisphere outline. We're going to be returning and spending and focusing in on that today to a certain extent. But we want to do a lead in because this is critically important. All of the information is critically important, and again, it's coming in a timely fashion. Akamaria provided that in an email the other day. I don't know how he came across that information, but we never should have that particular book and the information in our possession at this time.
Right.
Akamari sent me the link, and Nasi, you got it, the link to the book on Amazon. I want
Right.
everybody to hear that that book costs $250,000. It cost $250,000. And Akamaria, it says starting at $250,000, starting at $250,000. Y'all got to hear us. You really got to hear us. There's no way that we should be, if it were not for the ancestors,
Right.
we wouldn't even be on this call,
Right.
and we would not be talking about and experiencing the things that we are experiencing at this particular time.
Can.
And we must focus in on this because this is the next critical step for us. No longer should anyone on this call have an abstract understanding or an abstract concept of our ancient ancestors.
Right.
Right.
They
Right.
should be, and I know everyone is at a different level, but this is what I'm telling you, it should be the goal. The goal should be getting in contact with your ancestors
Can.
and having them become
Yes.
a regular part of your life. To
Yes.
be as real as a relationship as
Mm-hmm.
you have with your Isha, with your children, and with the rest of us on this call.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Can
see,
show.
this is critical. This is the
Yes.
critical next step.
Yep.
And the thing about it, everyone has enough information at this time to do that if you are
Can.
willing, if you
Can.
are willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the critical juncture, the critical question that everyone must ask: are you willing to do it? Because Malkiel, this ship is sailing.
Absolutely shows.
This ship is sailing.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I had mentioned on the weekly class. I know Agnazar and a few other people were on that call where uh, the next class, the next weekly class, will be ending. It will be culminating on next week. And I made the statement that I'm not going to be teaching like that anymore. And in other words, don't expect the same type of classes coming forth. We're going to continue to disseminate critical information. It will not be in the interactive form and the teaching format, the class series format that it has been before. I'm saying to them, just like I'm saying to you, and I said it in that class, and Nazar, you were on the line, that we have more than enough information
Yes.
to
Absolutely shows.
begin this journey inside
Mm-hmm.
and for you all to connect with
Can.
your ancestors
Yes.
by name,
Uh-huh.
and allow them to provide you with the service that they are dedicated to provide you with. And we talked about that. And this is what this entire series that we've been doing, perceiving the ancestors as watchers or guardians over thought forms. Now, I want you to write down, if you're taking notes, two words: watchers. I'm sorry, three words: watchers, guardians, and keepers. Keepers. Because you're going to see as we, Amaria, go into this new information in the book, you're going to see this thing uh, articulated just as we laid it out. Watchers, guardians, and keepers. I'm going to begin right here. Remember, we had talked about uh, last time the return of the Ancient One. the return of the ancient ones. And we connected that family to the Hopi prophecy, where they make the statement of the return of the star people and star knowledge and the return of the fire clan. And on previous classes, you all will remember me mentioning the return of the old one.
Right.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're going to get into detail about this. And see, here it is. A lot of times we sit back and we are in a truly prophetic moment now. See, we are in a truly prophetic historic moment,
Come on. Come on.
and we don't recognize it. This is what
Right.
Amaria just stated this earlier, that we don't recognize it because what? Of this dualistic mind. And Nasi covered this. We sit back. This is our moment. This is our moment in time, and we sit back and we judge it
Mm-hmm.
on whether we should believe it or not.
Right.
Right.
See, we don't have time for that anymore. Not because I'm saying it.
Okay, sure.
The information has been provided to you.
Yes.
In the scriptures, Nasi, you reach you reach a point where you got to what? Knock the dust off your shoes
Right. Right. Right.
and continue on.
That's
This
right.
thing has been laid out. It's been articulated. It's been demonstrated over and over again.
Yes. Absolutely.
And we're at a point. We're at a point in transition. We're in this doo-wop, and we have to move on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's time. It's
Yes.
time. I'm going to start with the Circle of Nations prophecy of the seven fires of the Anishinaabe from the ancient wampum belt. All right? And I'm going to start with this saying: the warriors of the rainbow would show the people that the Great Spirit is full of love and understanding, and teach them how to make the earth beautiful again. A new ending, a new beginning rather, can only begin with an ending of one thing and the beginning of another. We are at that transition point.
Absolutely.
And so, it's like Nasik is telling us that either we are going to continue to wrestle with that which is behind us, or what? Move ahead, and become in conflict with that, or move ahead to something that is new, something that is beginning, that we are starting, not no one
Gang.
else.
Gang.
Quoting from the Circle of All Nations prophecy of the seven fires of the Ashnabi from the ancient wampum belt. In the time of the seventh fire. Now remember, we talked about these seven heavens, right?
Mm-hmm.
These
Mm-hmm.
seven levels of consciousness. We've talked, Nasi, in terms of water the first time, fire next time.
Absolutely.
See, water grows things. Fire destroys them.
Yes, it
Yes.
does.
So
Yes.
we're in a period of destruction.
Yes.
Destroying old forms. This is what
Yeah.
Nasi has
Mm-hmm.
been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Destroying old thought forms and old ways. and moving into what is required for a new beginning. In the time of the seventh fire, a new people would emerge. See, here's the problem. Yes, we are supposed to look back, but not with the idea of replicating something that we've already done in the past.
Right.
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 Come on, Shows.
We got people running around pretending to be ancient Egyptians and ancient Hebrews and ancient this and ancient that. That has
Come
been
on.
done.
Come on.
That has been done.
Yes.
The Father told
Yes.
us about what? The new man. The new
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
That's right.
Meaning
Yes.
what? That this was a man that has not been seen before. We're not
Yes.
Right.
we're not trying
Yeah.
to replicate nothing. We're trying to
Come on,
create
Shows.
something new for a new time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, this is the problem.
Knock on. Big problem.
We holding on to something and trying to recreate or re-image something that has already been done in the earth.
Yes.
A new people would emerge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now see,
Yes.
retrospect and introspect.
Gang.
Retrospect
Gang.
meaning what? They would retrace their steps.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
We understand that. To find the wisdom that was left by the side of the trail long ago. If this is not the language that we've been talking,
Gang.
you haven't been paying attention. Their steps would take them to the elders, your ancestors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is what we've been emphasizing and what we're emphasizing with urgency now.
Yes.
Who they would ask to guide them on their journey. Have we done that? Or are
Gang.
we just relying, Nasi, on stuff that we were trained and programmed to understand, to guide us?
That's what it's been. Right. That's
See,
what it's been.
this is where the conflict is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We've been talking about the ancestors since we got on this call. I don't know what people are doing, but I'm saying that this is central. This was always central to our spirituality,
Gang.
our relationship with our ancestors, and this was lost. But the big question is, have you renewed this connection? Have you renewed this relationship? Because this is what all of the talk about melanin and DNA and cognitive enhancement
Yes.
and neurogenesis, this is what all of this is about, to equip you
Mm-hmm.
to make that connection now, see,
Can't
so that we can be guided, each along each in the same direction, but according to your path. The reason
Mm-hmm.
why you what? Incarnated.
Imminent.
The
Mm-hmm.
reason why you emanate into the physical realms at this particular time. If the new people, listen, remain strong in their quest, if the new people remain strong in their quest, the sacred drum will again sound its voice.
Huh.
There will be an awakening of the people. Now, the drum, Nasik, is akin to the trumpet sounding.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
There will be an awakening of the people, and the sacred fire will again be lit. At this time, listen, the light-skinned race, non-melanated people,
Yes.
What my
Mm-hmm.
ancestor refers to as the colorless people
Mm-hmm.
will be given a choice between two roads. One road is the road of greed and technology without wisdom or respect for life. In other words, continue on doing what you're doing currently
Right. Yes.
because they are the ones that brought that into the earth.
Came. Mm-hmm.
This road represents a rush to destruction. Now
Yeah.
see, this choice was in the Genesis
Right, Eitai.
where the instruction was given to the non-melanated man to do what? Subdue the earth, conquer it,
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
not not live in harmony with it, but to
Absolutely.
subdue it, tread it
Right.
underfoot.
Yep.
That's
And
one
that's
mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's one direction. This road represents a rush to destruction. The other road is spirituality, a slower path that includes respect for all living things. This is not a new message for us. This is one that, for the people that have reached this point, that are on this call, we've always had that internally. So when we heard it, wherever we heard it, whether it was Ben Ami bringing the message, it resonated within us.
right.
Yes.
Respect for all living things. If we choose the spiritual path, we can light yet another fire. If we choose the spiritual path, we can light yet another fire. Now, what have we been talking about but the eighth day? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
The eighth
Right.
Came.
fire.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new beginning. It is said in what? Different allegorical language, now see, but it's the same thing.
Same concept. Same.
Same
Right.
concept that we've been talking
Right.
about these many weeks and months, and begin an extended period of peace and healthy growth. This is from Grandfather William Commander, Circle of All Nations Prophecy and the Seven Fires of the Anishinaabe from the ancient wampum belt. Now, let's put this to rest. This new tribe shall be made up of all colors and creeds. This is a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is a fact. But this light-skinned individual, this colorless person, this aberrant man is going to be given a choice between two roads. Which road? This is the valley of decision.
Uh-huh.
All right? And it really don't have to do with color because like what Nasik has been hammering on and what we've been hammering on is that we've been what? Given this same mind
Yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
our enemy. And we must eliminate what we call a mind because it ain't nothing good in there, Nasik. It ain't never served us.
They never served
Nope.
us.
So all of this, again, has to do with neuromelanin, with DNA, with neurogenesis, Nasik, uh, cognitive regeneration. I'm trying to use the term cognitive enhancement. All of this. We must see how all of this fits into the big picture. Everything that we've been emphasizing. because it's on the same frequency of what our
Yes.
ancestors left us.
Yes.
Same energetic signature. So consequently, the same message. The same message. Let us review very quickly, like we say, we're going to work backwards. Let us review the Hopi prophecy, and then we're going to go to a few scripture verses that are going to help us put this thing in perspective. And then, Amari, we're going to review some of the information that you gave us, that you provided for us. And again, brother, Toda Rabah for that. You know, huge
Yeah.
kol kavod.
Toda.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
The return of the blue star Kachina, who is also known as Nan-Ga Sohu, will be the alarm clock that tells us of a new day and new way of life, a new world that is coming. This is where the changes will begin. And the changes that we've been emphasizing, don't look for
Yeah.
the changes to be external.
Right. Yes.
Right.
The most critical change must come within all of us.
Yes.
Yes.
When the blue star Kachina makes its appearance in the heavens, and it has already made its appearance in the heavens, all right? It's already made. We went over that. It's already,
Yes.
NASA, it's on record. We ain't
Uh-huh.
looking for something to happen. It's already happened. The fifth world will emerge. Now, we've been teaching, Nasi, that we've been teaching from what? The vantage point of the fifth heaven.
Right.
That is just the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
So where we look back and tell people, hey, you got to catch up. You got to catch up. You got to make the transition from what? The simulated reality of the first two heavens into what? The top of the astral plane, which is the third heaven. Catch your breath there and then move on into the higher realm.
Mm-hmm.
This is what, at the end of the class, what Do David brought up and articulated upon, made a very strong point, and Nasik Aharone went into power versus force and put it in plain language for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, this level what? 400.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This level 400. But we've been teaching from, we've emphasized this, from a fifth level consciousness.
Yeah.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Family, no brag, just fact.
Yes.
Not brag. It's just a fact.
Yeah. Eitai, just a point. Help with the family here. We can't get thrown off by terms that the average man has used to kind of cause us to what? Become confused or cause us to detour away. Now, when you say the fifth heaven, but you gotta also understand that that is according to dimensions too.
That's
You
correct.
see,
Yes.
if we miss the dimension, they said we got to go to the fifth dimension. Well,
Right.
this is where we're talking about, you know.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
The third dimension, you understand it, and the fourth, the transition into the fifth, and then on and on. And all this is linked to what? Those periods of time, what you call 7 days or seven
right.
cycles of time. All
That's
this is
right.
all connected.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely. We've taught on this. We've gone over this.
Absolutely. Right.
So this, to me, now see, it's just a matter of fact. It's just
Right.
a matter of fact.
Right.
They also believe that this will be the day of purification. The day of purification. If Nasi has not been talking about this over the last several days, I don't know. We got to
Can.
interpret it like this.
Can. Yes.
It is thought by many scholars that the blue star Kachina is the Hopi name for the star Sirius. Now, again, we've been talking about this as above, so below. We're not really talking about, we're talking more about these things that are within ourselves. The things that we perceive, Nasi, that are in the heavens, they are just a reflection of the things that are in all of us.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
For the star Sirius. Now, the star Sirius has to do with Osiris. We've been right here. The brother with the green face, what? Looking toward the west.
Yes.
Looking toward the west.
Yes. Yes.
Though this is uncertain. Well, we're not uncertain about it. We're just saying these things as a matter of fact, because we've connected with our ancestors and they verified these things. They believe the day will come when Sakwasohu, blue star Kachina, dances in the plaza and removes his mask. This particular Hopi prophecy has been interpreted as speaking of various different things depending on the interpreter. Twin Kachinas, white and blue. Twin, merging of self. The merging of self.
Yes.
The merging of self.
So, absolutely.
And this is exactly what we've been talking about.
Dang.
Stop viewing things as external to yourself, as God is external to yourself. We say the higher self and the lower self. It really not, see, it ain't but one self.
It ain't but one self, right?
Absolutely.
That's why we keep talking about conscious and subconscious. It ain't but one. It ain't nothing but conscious.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because we so messed up within this simulated reality, well, that's the starting point that we have to come from with everybody. But again, it's a fifth dimensional understanding of this.
Okay.
Twin pyramids. Look, DNA. And what? Twin towers falling. When did that happen?
Wow. Yeah, 2001.
It is known as the Hopi blue star or blue Kachina prophecy of white feather of the bear clan. Listen carefully. This is the first sign. This is the first sign. We are told of the coming of the white-skinned man, like Pahana, but not living like Pahana. Now, who is Pahana? Pahana is light-skinned black man. There's a difference. There's a difference. We come in all colors. But this white-skinned man is something special. It's someone we created, family, for a particular purpose. All right? We're going to revisit this. We didn't lay all this out.
Yeah.
Not like Pahana, but not living like Pahana. Men who took the land that was not theirs and who struck their enemies with thunder. These are guns. What did we talk about? But the gun that won the West.
Right. We talked about that, right?
And we taught about this. We traced this. The gun that won the West. and the age of what? Saturn, the age of lead that we went through. Same thing, family, the age of Saturn, the
Yeah.
inception of the deadly age of lead. That's the first what? That's the first sign.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if we don't look to the West, now see, to the genuine history, we're not going to be able to unravel this at all.
No, that's this is
We'll be in this constant state of confusion. When this is the first sign. So we mark that. This is our alarm clock. This is our calendar. This is the second sign. Our lands will see the coming of spinning wheels filled with voices. The coming of spinning wheels filled with voices. These are the covered wagons.
yeah.
And what was the
Yeah.
what did they what it was the cry when they set out? Land ho! They're
Right.
coming to take
Right.
our land.
Dang.
See, but if we're not connected now to our history in the West, all this ain't gonna make no sense. Now, see, we ain't gonna believe it.
Anytime we can't hook it up.
We're not gonna believe it, and we're gonna be what? Stuck in belief, stuck in a belief system, not able to move forward, not able to transition. This is everything that Nasi has been teaching over the last several days, family. Nothing different, no departure. This is the third sign. A strange beast like a buffalo, but with great long horns, will overrun the land in large numbers. That's the long horn. Look, Nazar,
Dang.
that longhorn cattle in Texas.
Yes.
They got people that ride around with that on their car, on the hood of their car. Am I lying?
Right.
Absolutely.
The longhorn cattle. The fourth sign, the land will be crossed by snakes of iron. Y'all already know what that is. Those are railroad tracks.
Yes.
This is the fifth sign. The land shall be crisscrossed by a giant spider's web. These are power lines for the telephone. This, if you look in the history, family, this is chronologically exactly how this thing happened, how it was laid out. But if we're looking across the water for things to occur, we're not going to be able to properly discern the time prophetically from a prophetic sense. And Nasi talked about that. That once a prediction occurs, what? In real time, it stops being a prediction or prophecy and becomes what? History. This is our history. These are the power lines and the telephone lines. Is this just how this developed?
Absolutely.
Absolutely how it developed.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need nobody to interpret this for us. It's our history. If we
Mm-hmm.
accept this as our history.
Mm-hmm.
This is the sixth sign. The land shall be crisscrossed with rivers of stone that make pictures in the sun. These are the concrete and bitumen roads with their heat gaze and mirage imaging effects. We've all seen this. We've all experienced this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the seventh sign. You will hear of the sea turning black and many living things dying because of it. This is the oil spill.
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
eighth sign. You will see many youth who wear their hair long like our people come and join the tribal nations to learn the ways and the wisdom. These were the hippies.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know about that movement. And this is the ninth
Yes.
and the last sign. Listen, listen, family. You will hear of a dwelling place in the heavens that is above the earth, that shall fall with a great crash. It will appear as a blue star. Very soon after this, the ceremonies of the Hopi people will cease. I want to read that again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Ceremonies will cease.
Mm-hmm.
Ceremonies will cease.
Mm-hmm.
That is that holding on to what? The things that were in the past
Yes.
that have
Yes.
served their purpose. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's time. This is the sign that it's time for a new beginning.
Yes.
Yes.
We're at this point. These are the signs that the great destruction is here. The world shall rock to and fro. The white man will battle people in other lands, those who possess the first light of wisdom. This is occurring right now,
Right now.
and it
Absolutely.
has been occurring. There will be many columns of smoke and fire, such as the white man has made in the deserts not far from there. Those who stay and live in the places of the Hopi shall be safe. Then there will be much to rebuild, and soon, very soon afterward, Pahana will return. He shall bring with him the dawn of the fifth world. He shall plant the seeds of his wisdom in our hearts. Even now the seeds are being planted. These
Okay.
shall smooth the way to the emergence into the fifth world.
Mm-hmm.
The emergence into the fifth world. Now, see,
Mm-hmm.
this is the fifth dimension.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
So ends the Hopi Blue Star or Blue Kachina Prophecy, edited from thecrowhouse.com. I give uh, the all of the information for you all to read it for yourselves. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So let us go to the scriptures. All right, because we've made the statement now, that, and this is critical. You know, whether you hear or whether you forbear, each one of us must go inside and do what is necessary to contact our elders,
Mm-hmm.
to make the connection with our ancestors. Are you all hearing me?
Yeah.
Gang.
Hey.
The
Loud and
reason
clear.
why the reason why I'm emphasizing this is will be explained, and I'll go to it now. My ancestor, listen, has already laid the groundwork from a legal standpoint, family, for us to receive land and money
Mm-hmm.
as compensation for particular lands that were stolen from us. Y'all got to hear me.
Yeah. Yes. I
Hey.
hear you. Loud and clear.
See, this cannot be abstract anymore.
Can't
Mm-hmm.
be. No, no, no.
For none of us. For none of
Okay.
us. And we can't be looking around at someone else. See, that time is over. Or we
Yes.
looking for this person to do something for us or that person. We way past that.
Okay.
We must go inside and make this connect. This is the only truth that you have. What is
Mm-hmm.
inside you?
Okay.
Not what is inside me, not as what is inside Nasi or anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
What is inside you?
Yes.
That is your particular truth. We all headed in the same direction,
Mm-hmm.
but you must drive your vehicle.
Yes.
So the groundwork has been laid. I had mentioned family on the call on Sunday evening that, you know, how many people are familiar with this sovereignty type thing?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
getting your
Yes.
sovereignty and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
And I had made uh, the statement, family, that I've listened to this. You know, people haven't just started doing this, but I've been listening to this thing for decades, and it's very interesting and very vital, very important that we establish ourselves, you know, in terms of status, and not just something that we say out of our mouth. It's as easy to say I'm a Hebrew as it is to say I'm an Egyptian or a Kemetan, as it is to say I'm a Christian, as it is to say, you know, I'm an airline pilot.
Right.
But what status do you have in the earth other than what's
Right.
coming out of your mouth?
Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay.
So I really understood this. I understood this when I talked to the various uh, sovereignty groups over time. And some of the methods that they've been employing from a legal standpoint, were very valid. And I saw some results, you know, but it's been
Mm-hmm.
Amaria. It's been on this standpoint that they can go to court, you know, like traffic court. And Amari, you know what I'm talking about, and you know, make their arguments and make their stands on particular statutes. If it's a misdemeanor, if it's in traffic court, if it's a minor criminal case, they've had some consistent success in doing this.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But now see, we talking about a quadrillion dollars here.
Right. Right.
Eitai, Eitai, this portion right here, can you send me this portion here? So
Absolutely.
send me this because I got somebody already working, you know, in this particular area that we're talking about here. And I just need this to kind of like, you know, put his direction, you know,
Yes,
so that
sir.
we can, okay?
Now see, I know
Thank
exactly what you're talking about. We've talked on this you know, recently in the past. So yeah,
I told
you're gonna get all of this. Everyone is gonna get it. All right,
I
Hold on, so
everyone.
So,
So um, they've had, but now see here we talking about a quadrillion dollars.
that ain't no small cash.
We talking about 70,000 acres of land.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You know, and here's the point. I would get to the point with all these groups, and they would get to a certain level where the doors and the ceiling, you know, it would be capped off. In other words, they
Right.
couldn't have success beyond
Right.
what misdemeanors, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
minor court cases and stuff like that. Why? Because you're
Right.
not talking about trillions of dollars.
Right.
You are dealing with a bandit.
Yes.
They don't care. They don't
Right.
care about breaking no laws. That's how they got in your country in the first place.
Can.
Right.
Absolutely, Chef.
Absolutely.
They don't care
Absolutely.
about committing no murder, mass murder, genocide.
Right.
That's right.
So the point becomes you have a legal case, but what power, even if you establish your sovereignty, walk with me, family, what power
Yes.
do you have to
Yes.
back up your claim?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
from a street standpoint, if somebody knock you in the head and take something from you, family, you have a right to take it back.
Right.
Are you
Just
all
like
with
that.
me?
Absolutely.
And you
Yeah.
can go and confront the person and
Right.
say, "That's my stuff. That's my watch. It's got my name, initialed into it. It's got an inscription. I got it from my wife. That's my car. Here's the title to it. But this is somebody that knocked you in the head and took it from you.
Right.
How you think you're gonna need to get it back?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just like that, Chef.
A sovereign nation, when other sovereign nations deal with other sovereign
Just like
nations
that.
and people
Central Nixon.
on legal affairs, they must have a standing army in order to pose some type of threat. Now, understand, I'm not talking about picking up arms or doing anything like that, but you have to have, now see, some type of power with you
Absolutely.
other than some
Absolutely.
legal power. Your power, the army you're going to have, is your ancient ancestors. And if you have not made that connection, you out here butt naked just talking. You have no backup.
Mm.
You done brought words to a gunfight. You done
You
brought
ain't know who it is on that one.
you done brought a legal document to a gangster. You better bring some
We
muscle
showed
with you. That's common sense. We all coming, we
that
don't grow
gangster
up in the
showed
inner city, look, that's common sense. You can be right as you want to be, but if you don't have no muscle to back up what it is, what claim you making, go sit down somewhere. The scriptures give us this in a perfect illustration, family, in 2 Kings, the 6th chapter.
they have. We do.
We're going to start at the 8th verse. All right. And we're going to read down. And I want you
That's
all
who
to
it should
stop
be.
me. Listen, I want you all to stop me when our ancient ancestors come into view, when they start talking about the ancient ancestors. See if y'all can see this. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and such a place shall be my camp. I'm going to read that again. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and such a place shall be my camp. And then the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down.
Uh-huh. Such a place.
And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto him, will ye not shew me which of us is for the king of Israel? In other words, we got a snitch. We got to have a snitch.
Yeah.
And one of the servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. So you better be working with something of a cosmic nature in warfare. We don't war like them. We'll never.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots, listen, and a great host. And they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? What we gonna do? They done sent the DEA, Secret Service, FBI, local police, Barney Fife with the bullet in his gun, and Andy Mayberry. They got us surrounded. What we gonna do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us, remember, stop me now, they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's that they?
That's that host. That's the host.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
it. Look, now see, they keep telling us
Uh-huh.
that the great old ones, I keep telling you that they're coming back
Yeah.
Yes.
and that they are not like us,
Right.
family. These are the warriors of renown,
Mm-hmm.
the gods of this earth, what they called them. If we think that we are going to get an inheritance but just by asking nicely, we sorely mistaken. Just
Right.
by submitting Nasi paperwork,
Not gonna happen.
they understand this stuff. They got hidden away. It's archived. They're aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
By you submitting it to the United, that don't mean it means a lot. We each gonna have to, do that, but you're gonna have to have some backup.
Yes.
And Elisha prayed. First of all, he said, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. This is the statement that I'm making. This is our standing army. But they do not stand, Nasi, in the simulated reality.
Right.
Yes.
These are
Hey.
cosmic beings. Cosmic
Mm-hmm.
beings.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, all three of them, that he may
Mm-hmm.
see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest, it concerns how spiritual warfare was fought. We don't fight carnal battles.
Yes.
This paperwork is in place, family, but in order for them to, uh, uh, it is our job to show our ancestry, our true lineage,
Mm-hmm.
present the documentation, make that connection. But we're going to have a standing army with us. We're going to have some backup. A threat with us. That
Mm-hmm.
says, you didn't come with us and to us and present no paperwork,
Right.
no bill of sales. You just took it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to be of the mindset, hey, we playing by your rules.
Right.
And we
Yes.
asking you nicely, hey, this is a legal document, give it back to us. But if
Mm-hmm.
not, this is what is going on in South Africa.
Yes.
The brother said, look, our first strategy is to do this thing within the court systems, to pass that we passing these laws, but understand this, we have not gotten to the point. This is what this brother said. We haven't got to the point yet to where we're gonna pick up arms and take our stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's what
Mm-hmm.
they're doing in South Africa. We have
Mm-hmm.
another claim here. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yes. Absolutely.
To that
Yes.
has nothing to do with that. Our battle, as well as their battle, if they're going to be successful, that we have to war spiritually. We have to war on a cosmic level. Are you all with me?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we got to align ourselves individually. Who is your clan? Who is your troop?
Mm-hmm.
Who is your tribe that you're rolling with?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have the ability to be able to name it by name
Yes.
and to understand your genuine history. We cannot keep this thing in an abstract sort of area. We don't have to. We're showing you not only the information, we're showing you by example how to do this. This is the work that we have to be about.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on and research your family history just like I
Yes. Yes.
did, to get the proper documentation to make your case. That's all well and
Mm-hmm.
good. We're going to all do that. We're all somewhat in the process. Well, I won't say all. Some of us are in the process of doing that
Okay. Okay.
as well. But I'm telling you, you can present all of the correctly documented uh, uh, information that you want. These are gangsters that you're dealing with.
Yes.
You're gonna have to bring your squad with you. You're gonna have to be connected to your family. You cannot walk in there alone,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
thinking that some God in heaven is gonna get on your side because you're right. Has never happened before. It's not gonna happen. We gotta connect with our ancestors. That is the way, that is the link to our source, the link to
Yes.
our power. This is the PDF that Akamaria sent. And again, I cannot tell him how grateful I am for him listening to the ancestors and going about getting this in our hands. This is uh, Amaria. They got this thing listed at $250,000 on Amazon. It is worth way more. It's priceless. It's priceless. 103 amazing facts about the Black Indian of the Western Hemisphere outlined. Now, if this was not important, it wouldn't be worth. They wouldn't have priced it starting at $250,000. Let's get that straight right now.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
So if I mean, we would be a fool to ignore. This is on Amazon. This is on Amazon. Doc, you can actually, if you got that type of, you can actually buy this. If this wasn't important, we wouldn't even be. We would be able to go on and buy it for what? $30, $40. It is nothing but 21 pages long. But we're going to see that this is the information that we need. This is the word that we need to hear, that we've been hearing. And it's going to confirm everything that we've been talking about since we got on this call until recent times. This is the forward. At times, statements or phrases can cause the human mind to tap into worlds or reality. Now, of course, he's saying human minds. We know consciousness. It can cause your consciousness to tap into worlds or realities where a bigger picture or image of that time zone or reality is given, revealing more information about that reality. Someone else has been responsible for recording the history of my people for the past 500 years. Other than my own people, the perception of our past is very limited. It's very limited. And I wrote a document on this that we have not gotten to yet, but that I had taught about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, called The Episodic Nature of our perception, the episodic nature of our perception. And it's making the same statement that our perception is very limited. When you think about an episode, family, just think about a weekly TV program that may be a half hour long or an hour long, or and especially in those half hour programs, they present a premise, a story, and it usually is a problem that we're informed of right away. We see that problem work out probably in the first half of that half hour, and then right at the end they solve the problem, right? And it gives to us a microwave type of mentality where our perception is very short or episodic, and we fail at times and almost all the time to get a broader, expansive, comprehensive view of any one topic. And we have a tendency to be able to only learn in what? Bite-sized pieces. Only to take things in very short episodes. And our attention span are limited. Most people can only focus intensely for short periods of time. Did I say something wrong?
Not
Absolutely
at
not.
all.
Yeah.
And if you've taught some subjects, family, that you teach on require that you be nonstop on that subject for 5 or 6 hours
Mm-hmm.
in order to
Yeah.
articulate it. But look, if you want people to start talking about you, start talking at 1 o'clock and then stop at 7 o'clock
Right. Right.
and see if you
Right.
don't get, see if you everything but a child of God at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's too
Can be
Yeah.
much
so.
for some people because
Yes.
I see they still in intellect,
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
not in consciousness.
Yes.
You went
They're
too long.
still in a form of thinking
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
that is very limited. That is very limited and not in the form what we used to call what? Roaming the heavenlies. Very few people can do that. And when you're doing that, you're outside of time. There's sometimes I sit down at this computer at 6:30 in the morning and don't move till 8:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night,
Mm.
researching one subject.
Mm-hmm.
Eitai, I
Mm-hmm.
thought I was the only one that do that. I
Me
be ignorant
too.
much doing these things that, I mean, I just be reading the one. I said, well, is I'm the only one doing that, but I know you had to be doing it too to come up with the information you come up with.
This is the only way that you know. This is the only way you know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you can't be watching a clock.
Nah. Nah. Nah.
You cannot have a limited attention span
No. No.
because now see you still in the program of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we not it's going to be very difficult, we should say impossible to make these types of connections in any
Yeah.
consistent manner. Goes on to say, our past and how we perceive our past has been shown to us by people who have so far not recorded our history correctly for the past 500 years. Think about that.
Right.
May these facts penetrate the psyche of my people and cause a mental stimulus that ignites the spirit. The spirit, when they talk about the spirit now, sing in the singular term, they're talking about the ancestors.
Yeah, yeah.
This connection that we must make and breaks the spell of amnesia that currently plagues most of us. Exactly what we've been putting on view and attempting to get everyone to assist everyone to overcome. Is this not the case?
Dang.
Dang.
We are in desperate need of total memory recall. Now, see, that the only thing that's going to aid us in total memory recall is moving from thinking to knowing.
That's the only
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
Up to reality.
If this is not the same spirit, if these are not the same words, if this is not the same energy that we've been operating on ever since that we got into this information in earnest, well, I don't know what
Dang.
to tell.
Yes.
I don't know what to tell y'all.
It ain't nothing else to say.
And understand, this is a $250,000 book that we reading from.
And
Dang.
that's just one of it. That's just part of it.
This is just part of it, ain't it, Amaria?
That's correct.
No, they didn't want us to get into this. But guess what? Y'all on this call, 12
Yes.
o'clock on a Tuesday,
Yes.
Eastern Standard Time, family.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the busiest work week. I mean, this is the work week. Tuesday. You know you don't work Monday. Everybody got the Monday morning blogs. This is the start of the work
Right.
week where everyone taking a
Right.
break and we into some $250,000 information. Y'all got to see this. Introduction. This work has been written in a special way to psychologically and spiritually heal the mental and spiritual damages that have been done to the Black indigenous native of the Western Hemisphere, so-called American Indian. It is also designed to make the Black indigenous native of the Western Hemisphere aware of the psychological and spiritual damages that have been done. Now, Seek, over the last several days, isn't this what you've been pointing out?
Absolutely.
In depth,
Absolutely.
in depth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as I've been reading through it and listening to you, and I look at the dates. See, remember we always talk about dates. They are identical to the time that we've been talking about.
Because because the ancestors gave it to us.
I mean, it's really phenomenal.
We've made that
Really,
energetic connection. We've made that energetic connection.
yes, no question. Ain't no question in my mind.
Here's the critical point. It is not for everyone.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
we're not being cruel in saying that. This is just a statement of fact.
Mm-hmm.
If we are unwilling to make that transition that was laid out in detail for us, to quit thinking about stuff
Mm-hmm.
and begin to know that what it is that is being put on view to you is the absolute truth.
Yes.
Right. That's
Yes.
where we are.
Absolutely.
We passed the point of debating and
No question.
trying to convince. Look, my statement is not for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is an antidote for a degree of sickness that has been embedded deeply within the well-being of my people. My people have been programmed to think that Africa is their homeland when home is right under their feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Good
Okay.
God. Yes.
Is that on the money?
Oh man. Right, man. Please. Good gracious.
This work has repetitive tones to it for a reason. Now, this is something that if you all go over the material that the ancestors told me to do as I lay the material out, don't worry about repeating information. Cut and paste as much as possible. You're not trying to write a best-selling novel.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
you're not trying to do, Malkiel,
Yes.
copious notes.
Okay.
You're trying to repair a people that you
Yes.
know has been damaged.
Yes.
So repeat it as often as possible.
Mm-hmm.
We not on
It's de-
now. See, we not on what compulsory education has trained
right,
us to be.
right.
Right. Yes.
We're gonna keep repeating this out of love, family, as
Kane.
often
Kane
as
show.
possible.
Yes. Vishinantan.
Absolutely. It is designed to deprogram the systematic programming of the Black indigenous native of the Western Hemisphere throughout the Americas on how they have been mentally trained since birth to view themselves and how they have been mentally trained since birth to view and perceive their own ancestors. This is the problem. I don't know what everyone feels when we talk about the answer. I don't know everyone's feeling about that. But whatever it is, Nasi, we got to get over it.
Gotta get over it.
We got to get over it. My name is Canyon. I was born and raised on the west side of Chicago. Oh, another brother with a vision coming out of Chicago.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Chicago is the spiritual center for black people. That's right, it is.
My name is Canyon. Y'all gonna know exactly why. He's gonna give you his pedigree. My name is Canyon. I was born and raised on the west side of Chicago. My father's side of the, listen to this. How many of us can say this? But we can all say it if we would take the time to go inside. My
Yes.
father's side of the family comes from the Coweta, Kusuta, Shawnee, and Tuscarora people. My mother's side of the family comes from the Saligi, Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Tachula people. What does Tachula sound like? Black Panther
T'Challa.
fans?
T'Challa.
T'Challa.
Right. Mhm.
Come on now.
Now, listen, fam. Listen to what he says. Based upon the matriarchal society that was
That's what.
once honored by most of my people and still honored by some of us.
Mhm.
I am Saligi. I come from a long line of women who trace their lineage through women.
Mm.
Whatever the woman's clan is, so is the child. Look,
Wow.
Eliah, Nasik, David, Malkia, Amaria, when we was just
Yes.
on the
Come on, show.
phone, this was the initial conversation that we had.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
How they did what? Change
Yeah,
change the feminine,
Yes.
the power of the name, how they changed the feminine spelling of
Mhm.
Yahuwah into what? Masculine.
Mhm.
masculine.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Whatever the woman's clan
Yes.
is, so is the child. However, listen, the strongest spirit on me, you all have to have to find this out. Look, my daughter, prior to she got it in her mind that she had to go to California. And around that time, or around that time period, she said a woman read her spirit, read her, and said, "You have I see a strong feminine motherly presence around you that is guiding you." And I know who that is.
Mhm.
Wow.
That is her. Look,
Wow.
she transitioned in just outside of Los Angeles, California.
Wow.
Y'all got to hear me. My wife and I,
Yeah.
we're planning to make our journey out there once we get our inheritance. We picking out houses already.
Yes.
I hear
Yes. Likewise, shows.
Because
you.
I know I'm gonna be there. See, but family, now see, I'm not special.
Right.
Right. Right.
You all can do this. This brother on here is
Change.
not special. We all have this ability. but we got to get out of our own way.
Yes.
He says that, yes.
You know, I'm a church, and like for the last few years, trying to run down my ancestry, and they keep out saying check at the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Oklahoma City.
Well,
So I guess me and my
it's a reason for that, brother. We gonna put you right where you need to be. He's gonna show you why you tracing it to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he gonna put you right there,
He's
right?
gonna put you right there, Kalaya.
Right.
He says, however,
Eitai also
you got an echo there for some reason, Kalaya. I can't.
I say I'm a sovereign individual.
All right. See, we've all began on this journey, brothers, sisters. We've all began on down this pathway. Excellent. He says, whatever the woman's clan is, so is the child. However, the strongest spirit on me and the strongest ancestral spirits who walk with me is from my father's side. We all should be able to articulate our connection with our ancestors like this in that sort of detail. It is not, it's something that is inside you that you must activate. I am a red stick warrior. We opposed European expansion onto our ancestral lands. We opposed our own people who supported this and opposed our own people who supported the rebel government called America. We fought against Europeans, the new rebel government America, and our own people. We bathed in hot blood with our own kinsmen who were wooed and seduced by European lifestyle and European trinkets. My battles were fought with the white man. Many more were fought with our own people who became victims of the white man's spell. Throughout different battles, where there were 1,000 or more white people on the battlefield, there were triple the number of us in ranks alongside them. Y'all got to hear that. 1,000 white people and then 3,000 of our own people fighting against us.
Wow.
If that is not duality in the flesh, I don't know what is. Helping them with the European colonialism campaign. Moving on. As a child growing up during the 1970s at the age of 5, my grandparents took me back to where they were born and raised, which is Mentor City and Money, Mississippi in LaFleur County. They took me to the various burial grounds. This is important, family, that we find these ancient burial grounds that that relate to our people, that relate to our people. Very important that we do these things. And showed me where my ancestors were resting. In my family, no known relatives still speak our native tongue. It comes out during spirit possession now. My family has maintained rich information about our lineage, yet many members of my family are victims of European colonialism. They do not talk about the old ones anymore, like they did when I was a child. The names of our ancestral clans were not even spoken anymore. The only thing that matters to them now is going to the white man's schools, receiving his indoctrination and stamp of approval, graduating, getting a job, and paying your bills on time.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
When I was a child, I often heard the elders of my family say that I had been here before. How many people on this call, somebody has said
Gang.
that to you?
Yes.
Gang.
They said that I was old and that I would one day become a preacher. As a child, as a child, Nazar, you on the phone? As a child, I always saw spirits, and they always saw me. I was the only child for 9 years. During that time, most of my time was spent communing with the spirits. Let me ask somebody: Does anyone uh, is anyone on the call where you could play hours by yourself,
Gang.
Mm-hmm.
nobody there with you, just you and your imagination?
Mm-hmm. Gang show. Yes.
You were communing with spirits.
Mm-hmm.
I love the colon. Now listen, this is very important. I love the colonized God called Jesus as a child. I was so passionately drawn to his story. I read the Bible from front to end constantly. That's my story. I've read this Bible hundreds of times from Genesis to Revelation. I thought I was having a religious experience, but it was a consciousness experience. I
Mm-hmm.
downloaded that thing. This brother went to the same thing. I memorized the books of the Bible, the ones that that weren't taken out. Remember, I showed you the book that my great aunt sent me and told me to read all of it, even the
Mm-hmm.
fine print. Our story is in there, family.
Yes.
It just took me a long time to decode it. Always listen to Christian preachers on the radio. Somebody needs to mute their phone, please. Always listen to Christian preachers on the radio and would write them letters. I did the same thing. Did the same thing. My grandmother went to church seldomly on Sundays. Seldomly. On some Sundays when I wasn't going to church with her, other Sundays I was honoring the Hindu god Krishna with my mother at the Hindu temple on the north side of Chicago. That was another thing that I connected to was East Indian mythology. I mean, East Indian mysticism and mythology. As a child, I sat on the lap of his divine grace, AC, whatever his name is. I did not know that one day this would be something very special. I remember as a child on the west side of Chicago, white people called my family niggers while riding by in their car. When I said my prayers to Jesus at bedtime, I wonder if he would call me a nigger when I got to heaven, since he looked just like the other white people who called us nigger. Sometimes saying my prayers at bedtime was often confusing as well. Should I pray to Jesus tonight or should I pray to his Father, God, tonight? Should I pray to God tonight or will I pray to Jesus tonight? Will God get mad if I give Jesus too much attention? Or will Jesus get mad if I give God too much attention? When I got older, I learned that Jesus was really dark skinned, or what some might say black, and learned that his hair was woolly. We all walk this path, and that he looked nothing like the programmed image that was instilled in me. I also learned that there were many achievements and great accomplishments had been done by so-called black people that was never recorded in my school textbooks. Isn't this the road we walk, family?
Gang.
Gang.
I was later learned why, as a child, the kid teased me when I told them I was an Indian. I did not fit the program image that was instilled into most people. They did not know, like most adults today, that we all do not look like Sitting Bull or Geronimo.
Right.
I got older, I learned that the titles Negro, Colored, and Black does not represent a nationality. I learned that in the not so distant past, any dark skinned or brown skinned person, be they indigenous to the Western Hemisphere, Africa, Asia, or Europe, are called Negro or colored by those who were melanin recessive, so called white people. I learned that millions of my people, the darker natives, were relabeled as Negro and colored, and again relabeled as Black Americans by the pale skinned Europeans. I learned that the titles Negro, colored, Latino, Hispanic, Black American, African American were colonized titles
Mm-hmm.
intentionally placed on my people to condition them into thinking that we all come from Africa, Spain, or anywhere else other than being indigenous to these shores. Y'all got to see the okie doke that they put on us.
Yes.
Many of
Yep.
my people who did not maintain their true tribal identity became victims of being psychologically, spiritually, and geographically removed from their native land and placed on a continent 2,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean, Africa. Listen, this is important, and we're going to close on this point. The ancestral spirits have led me through many different schools of thought. Anybody in here been through many different schools of thought?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody on this call besides me?
Gang.
In college, I came across the teachings of His Grace, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a Yuki, through one of his students, the most noble minister Louis Farrakhan. The spirits then led me to His Royal Highness Al-Imam Isa Al-Ha'adi Al-Mahdi, also known as the Chief Black Eagle rather, of the Yamasee. After this, I was contacted by Egyptian and Yoruba deities. Happened to me. Now, when he
Mm-hmm.
talks about deities, he's talking about the ancestral representation of these things. I had an experience, listen, with a race of aquatic beings as well. All of our ancestors, like I've been telling you, do not look like us.
Right.
Don't act like us.
Mm-hmm.
At the age of 30 in the fall of 1999, the spirits instructed me to cut my hair in the tradition of my people. The spirits have told me that I am a keeper. Remember, watchers, guardians, and keepers. Watchers, guardians, and keepers. This is consistent with what we've been saying, family.
Gang.
Not only of my people, but this planet as well. My purpose in this incarnation or this emanation is slowly unraveling, and it is our hope, our goal, our intention that we're aiding this unraveling process for everyone that is on this call. Listen,
Yes.
this is the thing that we've been emphasizing. I no longer bash the white man and give
Right.
him credit
Yes.
or his woman credit for bringing about the demise of my baby. Where did I get that from if I'm just
Mm-hmm.
reading this?
Mm-hmm.
and I've been cautioning us and admonishing us, stop worrying about what the white man is doing. You cannot give him credit for our demise. Why? Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us in our generation that we created this aberrant man. Is this not what we've been teaching?
Okay.
Okay.
Same spirit, same ancestral connection, family. Very important point coming up. I no longer bash the white man and give him or his woman credit for bringing about the demise of my people, and even the demon spirit that currently resides on our planet. We're going to go in this in further detail in other classes, family. This is what is referred to, and I'm going to ask you to write it down. The demiurge, that demon spirit that sits over the thought form of our captivity, is called the demiurge. 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 All right? Was referred to by the Gnostics. His name is Yaal-Debaal. Yaal-Debaal. Yaldabaoth. I'm going to break that down for you in Hebrew and let you know the two words that Yaal-Debaal, what that means and how this energy works and how we have to free ourselves from under the influence of that. Those of us that know the higher teaching say that energy follows energy. What have we been saying? Where attention goes, what? Energy flows.
Energy flows.
The demon spirit that currently resides in this abode is a result of our own actions. We created it. The divine gives us things in stages. According to the degree of our consciousness is how we are served by the universe. My people in the Western Hemisphere were on the downswing long before Europeans came here to settle. This work addresses a certain degree of consciousness. Therefore, as mentioned, it is not for everyone. We get ready to go, family, to continue on into the cosmic realm. You got to prepare yourself for it because this is a form of knowledge that is not for everyone.
Okay.
And if you still stuck in the old paradigm of the past, you will not make it. You'll stay there.
Yes.
Not a threat, just a fact. This work addresses a certain degree of consciousness. Therefore, as mentioned, it is not for everyone. There will be things that will be said that the people may take offense to. And we've already been down that road.
Right.
Okay.
But the brother says here, that's not my challenge. You'll have to work that out within your own spirit.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say that.
The information in this work comes from past life experiences. Pause. If individuals are asking, well, where is Eitai getting this information? That's one of the places.
Come on.
Okay.
Ancestral spirits, number 2. That's the other source. And what? Present life experiences. Like the way that we got this information.
Yes.
Amaria found it. The ancestors guided him to it. And what did he do? Provided us with it.
Yes.
family members. This is my family member right here. Y'all got to see.
Mm-hmm.
My great aunt, my family member that gave me the book,
Mm-hmm.
books, and various teachers who my spirit guides led me to in this day and time.
Yes.
So we're gonna stop right here, and as always, ask if there are any questions, any comments. We've covered a lot of information. We're going to continue on in this vein, family. We are departing. We are departing from the simulated matrix
Okay.
of this
Yes.
present
Yes.
reality
Yes.
into a cosmic state of being, cosmic state of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And
All I can say is pause,